All right, let's jump right into this. We're stepping into what feels like a dramatic scene from a play, a sort of cosmic interlude. Imagine a classic heavenly council, but instead of praise and glory, there's just unease. We're about to witness the old guard of heaven react to an earth-shattering shift in philosophy, and the terrifying idea that they're becoming obsolete.
And this is the question that hangs over everything. I mean, think about it. What happens when the divine voice, the ultimate source of order and meaning for literally eons, just stops? What fills that silence? That's the heavy, unnerving atmosphere we're about to step into.
So, let's paint a picture of the scene. We're in the fading heights. This isn't your Sunday school version of heaven with brilliant golden light. No, that light is dimming, casting these long gray shadows everywhere. Everything that was once certain and absolute is now fading. It's not a place of glory anymore, it's a place of twilight, of deep uncertainty.
And out of this twilight, we get our first voice, Gabriel, the messenger. You have to feel for the guy. His whole job, his entire existence, was to carry the word. But now there's no new word to carry. And he says the silence isn't empty, it's deafening. It's thick with a new sound, what he calls the low hum of modern unease. A restless, chaotic energy is bubbling up from below.
And this is why. The fundamental rules of the universe have changed. The old game, the classic showdown between God and the devil for one person's soul, it's over. A completely new, much bigger bet has just been made. And get this, the old powers, the ones who used to run the show, aren't even playing.
So let's really break down this shift. The old wager was personal. Think of stories like Faust. It was God versus the devil, fighting for one single soul. But the new wager, whoa, this is for all the marbles. It's a philosophical bet on the entire human species. On one side, you've got chaos, or the spirit of becoming, this drive to struggle, to change, to create. And on the other, you've got nothingness, the spirit of contempt, which is just apathy, nihilism, the belief that it's all pointless anyway. The stakes have been raised from one soul to the fate of all humanity.
So, how's the old management team handling this hostile takeover? Let's meet our three main characters, each one trying to wrap his head around the fact that his cosmic job description might have just been deleted.
First, we've got Gabriel, the messenger. We've heard from him already. With no messages to send, he's just lost. He's defined by this deep sadness, constantly listening for a command that he knows isn't coming.
Then there's Raphael, the healer. He's different. He's the analyst, the doctor. He's looking down on humanity not with anger, but with a kind of detached pity, diagnosing what he calls the sickness of modernity.
And finally, we have Michael, the warrior, the defender of the old ways. And he is absolutely furious. To him, this isn't some new philosophical trend. It's a rebellion, it's mutiny, and he's ready to go to war over it.
Here's Raphael's professional opinion. He sees the old way of being faithful, symbolized by this forest saint, and he just sees something that doesn't work anymore. It's like putting a bandage on a massive internal injury. The patient, humanity, is leaking, and Raphael believes it doesn't need old prayers. It needs radical surgery.
And that word, surgery, is the trigger. It's what sets Michael off completely. Because for him, this isn't healing, it's heresy. And this is where he launches his tirade, his diatribe, against the man daring to perform this surgery, a philosopher named Zarathustra.
And boom, there it is, the opening shot. For Michael, there's no gray area. This isn't a cure, it's an insurrection. He doesn't see a healer in Zarathustra, he sees a traitor who's trying to tear down the very cosmic order he swore to protect.
And Michael's rage is very specific. He has a list of charges. First, Zarathustra looks to the physical sun for inspiration, not to God in heaven. Second, he uses that star as a mirror for his own pride. And third, he has the audacity to say his own wisdom is heavy, a quality that should only belong to the divine. Every one of these is a direct insult, a redirection of worship from God to humanity and the earth.
Now, to really understand Michael's fury, you have to get this one simple concept, the ancient bargain. This was the deal offered to humanity. It was simple. Life on earth is going to be full of suffering, but you endure it, you keep the faith, and your reward is eternal paradise in heaven. This isn't just a rule to Michael, it's the bedrock of reality.
And this, right here, is the ultimate crime. Zarathustra isn't just questioning the bargain or trying to renegotiate the terms. He's tearing up the contract and spitting on it. He's telling humanity that the promise of heaven was just a way to make them devalue their one and only life here on earth.
As Michael sees it, Zarathustra has a deliberate three-step plan to dismantle everything sacred. First, destroy the old laws. Second, get rid of the consequences, no heaven, no hell. And third, and this is the most radical move of all, tell people that the meaning of life isn't about some prize at the end, but in the struggle and the beauty of life itself.
And this line just nails the entire conflict. Michael says it like it's the craziest accusation imaginable, but in doing so, he perfectly explains Zarathustra's whole philosophy, that the vibrant, chaotic, sometimes terrifying, but beautiful reality of life on Earth is better than the boring, static peace promised in heaven.
Just as Michael hits the peak of his rage, Raphael, the cool-headed analyst, drops this little thought bomb. He's basically asking, but Michael, what if he's right? The old promises are failing. Maybe, just maybe, this intense love for the earth is the only thing that can save humanity from falling into an abyss of pure meaninglessness.
And with that, you can feel all the energy drain from Michael's anger. The argument is over. The scene shifts. Now all that's left is a quiet, bitter acceptance of a new era that they have absolutely no control over.
Gabriel steps in to summarize the new status quo, this final wager. It's no longer good versus evil. The question now is about humanity's response to total freedom. Will they just collapse into apathy, which is what the spirit of contempt is betting on? Or will they rise to the challenge and strive to become something greater, which is the hope of the spirit of becoming? And with 5 short words, Gabriel makes their new status chillingly clear. The ultimate fate of humanity is being gambled on. And for the first time in all of creation, the Archangels are just spectators. Their power, their authority, their entire purpose, it's gone.
Michael gets the final, bitter word. He draws this brilliant contrast. God was the architect, the one with the perfect, orderly blueprint. But humanity rejected that protection. So now they have to become the builder, chaotically trying to create their own meaning from scratch. They wanted to be free from the architect's plan. Now they have to face the storm of building without one.
And this is the final haunting question Michael leaves us with. It's such a powerful image for humanity's new situation. We are a tightrope walker stretched between our animal past and some unknown superhuman future. But the safety net of heaven is gone. The wings that angels might have offered have been taken away. The question is, can we make it across that abyss all on our own?
And just like that, the scene in the heavens is over. The light fades completely, leaving the archangels like forgotten statues in the twilight. The focus of our story and of this entire new philosophy shifts decisively, downward, away from the silent heavens and toward the earth, where a new sun is rising.